All right, guys. So I just want to talk about just this situation that's going on in the welterweight division, and just in general, just breaking down like who deserves title shots and why. Because it's tough. Because like when you talk about who deserves it, it's like you have to also factor in like the marketability. Because we all know like Bilal Muhammad, like no one's gonna buy his pay-per-view. No one's gonna pay $80 to watch Bilal Muhammad fight Leon Edwards. Like it's just not, like I would not do that. And I'm a big UFC fan. I like to watch every single card, and I don't really care who's fighting. But when you're trying to get someone to pay $80, you got to pick the right guy. And it's like there's those guys that eventually get to the point where like they just keep winning and winning and winning, and then you can't deny them. And that's what Bilal has to do, like to a crazy level, because he's just not marketable at all for whatever reason. Like I don't know, you have to have a reason for people to just want to watch your fights. And like I can't think of anything that makes me want to watch him fight. He's not like he's not a good talker, and you don't even have to be a trash talker. Like you can market yourself in different ways. Like you can be the guy that just has a really good style, or the guy that's just so good. Like you don't have to be a Conor McGregor like trash talker guy. Like you can do other things, but there's just nothing that he really does to make people want to watch him. So that's what's tough. And obviously Dana's talking about Colby, and I do find it kind of weird how like adamant he is about Colby getting it. He's like undeniable. That's what he's saying. So it's almost like guaranteed. And then Leon saying he wants Jorge. I don't know, it's tough because like Colby, when you talk about Colby deserving it, it's like, I don't know, you can make a case, but you could also say he doesn't at all, because so he fights, he's very good at, I'm not saying he's not a good fighter, he's a very good fighter, but he picks his fights very smart, in a very smart way. Like he fought Robbie Lawler past his prime, beat him, and then he got the title shot against Usman, the first one in 2019, and he lost that. It was a close fight, but he did get finished at the end. And I like Colby, like I was cheering for him, and he lost. Looking back, it's like he lost fair and square. And then like almost a year later, he fights Woodley, who's like obviously way past his prime too. And then so he beats him, and then he gets another shot a year after that. Like he fights once a year. It's like he's so inactive, and he cherry picks his fights in a smart way. So you can't get mad at him really. But I wish he would fight more. He plays it kind of safe. It's either he's fighting for titles or he's fighting guys that are kind of like washed up, which is smart because it works for him, and he's marketed himself well. So that boosts his stock, and that boosts his chances at getting a shot, and it's working clearly. So then he loses to Usman again, close fight again, but he did lose. And then he fights Masvidal, who's also kind of like past his prime. That was a good win though. That was a good solid win, but Masvidal was ranked like I think out of the top 10 at that point, so maybe not. But yeah, so he does that, and now he's calling for a shot again, and it's been another year. So I just wish Colby would fight one more guy, like just fight another top contender. I know he doesn't want to fight Bilal because he's not a draw, but maybe just fight him, beat him. You probably could beat him pretty easily, I think. And then you get the shot. But it's tough too, like for Jorge, it's hard to make a case for him because he lost to Colby, and he's lost his last like 3 or 4. 3, I think. Lost to Usman twice and then lost to Colby, so it's hard to make a case for him. But at the same time, if he does beat Gilbert, which is going to be very hard to do, then that's a really good win. It's like Colby hasn't fought Gilbert, so yeah, so since Colby hasn't fought Gilbert, like if Jorge beats Gilbert, that's a very good win. And that would be a strong case, but even then it would be tough. Because that Leon and Jorge fight is a huge fight. Like they can market that in a very good way. So I would love to see that, but it's looking like it's going to be Colby. Yeah, you gotta, on paper, like wins wise, Bilal probably does deserve it, but he's so unmarketable that he's just not going to get it. They're trying to give him Shavkat. Like, I almost feel bad for the guy because they're just trying to get him out of there. So he probably does deserve it, but he has no marketability, so no one's going to want to watch that. The pay-per-view is going to probably bomb. I'd say that probably does like 200K maybe if they put other good fights on it. And does Jorge deserve it if he beats Gilbert? I don't know. I'd say yes. I'd say that's enough because Gilbert's a huge win. He's beat like everybody else. But yeah, it's tough to call. Colby, I would say Colby needs one more like big win, but he's not going to do it. So I'd say Colby might have the edge over Masvidal at this current moment. And if Masvidal loses to Gilbert, which is very likely, then there's not really any case for him. So he needs to get through that first, and then they can talk about it. Like, I'm hearing Masvidal talk about it right now, and it's like, man, you need to win your fight first. You got a tough one. So, yeah, it's looking like Colby's going to get it. So in conclusion, you have to market yourself well in whatever way you can. You can't be like Bilal, and he's like trying to trash talk and like trying to be entertaining, but he's just not. Like, he just doesn't have that thing. So maybe, I don't know, find something to maybe be more exciting in your fights. Like, that last fight was good, like he got a knockout, but every other fight before that was just like a wrestling, like lay on the person decision. So yeah, just win fights and find a way to market yourself better than the next guy, because that's going to increase your chances on getting a shot. So you got to kind of feel for Bilal, but at the same time, you got to do something to get the fans entertained, because that's what this is about at the end of the day. They got to make money, and to make money, you got to get people to buy your pay-per-view. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching.